Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. This is the final matchup in Series 10. It is the Cleveland Indians taking on the San Francisco Giants from, I believe it's Oracle Park in 2015. The little park thing has AT&T Park, but of course, corporate sponsors change the name all the time. My Strat computer is telling me Oracle Park, but that may not be accurate either. So, because that's just a photo, it doesn't necessarily say it's from 2015. So I'm not sure what it's called in 2015, but we're there, whichever way you want to look at it, for this game between first place Cleveland Indians and the last place San Francisco Giants. Actually, Philadelphia's in last place now at 7-21. So San Francisco, if they lose this game, will drop back into a last place tie with the Phillies. They're hoping to avoid that. Beautiful day here in Virginia on the East Coast on this Saturday. Low 70s right now on Saturday morning. Very little, if any, humidity. And for August 13th, that's a pretty good deal. So windows are open, so you're going to hear, cars going by and stuff like that. Can't avoid it. Got to have the windows open and get some fresh air in here after weeks and weeks of nothing but air conditioner and humidity. Time to get the refreshing fresh air. So hopefully that'll just be background noise and it won't, be a factor. Starting pitchers for today's game, and of course, as I said in the earlier Series 10 matchups, when you get to Series 10, it's like the halfway point at Series 9 to Series 10. There are some roster moves, and Jake Peavy is coming on to be a starter for the San Francisco Giants. He had 19 starts in the real season, so he's going to get 6 starts in this league. So he'll finish out the year with the Giants in the rotation, assuming he doesn't get injured. So he was 8-6 with a 3.58 ERA on the 2015 season. Of course, he has no record as of yet. And Cody Anderson is your starting pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. We are in the National League Park, so pitchers are going to be hitting. Cody Anderson will be using pitcher hitting card number 1. Jake Peavy has his own batting card, so he'll be using his own batting card. Pitcher injury chances. Jake Peavy, 6'9". Cody Anderson, 6'11". And Cleveland has no injuries right now, but San Francisco does have Joe Panik. He is out for 4 more games, which is why Kelby Tomlinson is on the roster to take his spot. All right, you can see the starting lineups here with the benches and the bullpens for both teams. Got the game up on the computer. Again, I'm not going to score it on the score sheet. I'm going to score it on the computer and just print out the box score. I'll pause the video and print the box score when the game is over, and we'll go through it and see what happens. San Francisco trying to shake up the lineup a little bit, so they've got a little bit different lineup than what they're normally having. But Bruce Bochy hoping that will trigger some kind of offense because they've been stagnant, to say the least, in this Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Trying to get them some karma. We got the San Francisco Giant colored dice, the white, orange, and black. So Giant fans are hoping that will get them stirred up. We shall see. Cleveland hanging on to first place by a couple of games, but you never know what can happen. This is the team with the best record playing the team with one of the worst records, but that's why you play the games. You never know how the dice are going to turn out, and you think you got something, and then it fades away. After this game is over, I will play the rest of the Series 10 offline, and then to kind of speed up the process, because I've noticed in some of the videos earlier in Series 10 that the views are kind of down a little bit, which is telling me people are, I wouldn't say getting tired of this, but they're probably, getting maybe fatigued on it and would like to see other things. So I may be doing some different videos of other baseball games, just randomly or whatnot, just to fill the gap. Still going to do the NBC Game of the Week on Saturday until the season runs out, and going to do the Buffalo Bees every Friday. But during the week, I may put in some different games like Replay Baseball or Pine Tar Baseball or something like that, just to try to break up the monotony of this. And what I'll do when Series 11 starts is I'll just pick one game. We'll do like a game of the week, and I'll pick one matchup from Series 11, play that one on the video, and then play everything else offline. And then maybe once we get to about week or series 15 or so, and the pennant chase starts to really tighten up, and rosters expand and all that stuff, then I might start doing more in depth, because by that time I'm thinking that the NBC game of the week will be done, because we'll be probably into October by then, and the bees thing will be finished. We'll be getting close to finishing up, so I have more time to delve more into this and do other things. Of course, I want to do other things as well. But since we did the other ones in Series 10, go ahead and do this one in Series 10. Again, from San Francisco. All right, so the starting pitcher, as I said, for the Giants is Jake Peavy. He will be finishing up his warm-up tosses. Leading off for the Cleveland Indians is Michael Bourne. And, boy, Cleveland, they're going to keep him in the leadoff spot for now, but he may be losing that very, very quickly. He's only hitting a .96 and 97 at-bats from that leadoff spot. No homers, 9 runs driven in, 8 walks, but 27 strikeouts. He does have 5 steals, but boy, they need better production out of that once they play some of these better teams. Right now, they've gotten by with it because the middle of the order, Kipnis, Santana, Brantley in particular, have been so productive. But you can't, eventually luck's going to run out on that. So, all right, Series 10, matchup 5 of Series 10, Game 1 in that series, or in that matchup. Cleveland and San Francisco, and we're underway from AT&T Park, Oracle Park, or whatever it was called in 2015. Peavy now 6'6", and that's a bad news for Peavy. He's going to get to a bad start. 6'6", well, maybe not so bad. I was looking at the right-hand side. He's actually facing Bourne, a lefty, so a 1-3 is a triple, but anything else, he gets a fly to center. And he catches a break as Pagan runs it down. So, Jake Peavy. Nice play there by Pagan to run it down. That'll bring up, as I drop the dice. Hate when that happens. But it happens to a lot of us. I've seen other content creators do the same thing when they drop the dice. You think that wouldn't happen, but it does. A lot of things you think wouldn't happen until you try it yourself, and then you can see what happens. All right, so Jason Kipnis is going to step into the plate. He is the league's leading hitter by far. 108 at-bats. He's hitting .380, 2 homers and 16 runs driven, and he's one of the major reasons why Cleveland is in first place. So Peavy behoove him to keep Kipnis off the bases. 4-2, and against a lefty, that's going to be a single to right field, so he didn't do it. Kipnis, right on cue, going to improve that average even further. And he's a B stealer. Let's see if they want to think about trying to send him. Although Posey is a -2 arm, so a B stealer starts as a 13, being held as a -3 makes it a 10. -2 from Posey's arm is an 8, so Kipnis not going to go anywhere, but they will have to hold him on, because if they don't hold him on, he would very likely steal second base. So they're going to have to hold him on. And here's Carlos Santana, hitting .260 and 100 at-bats even, obviously 26 out of 100. 5 homers and 22 driven in. Peavy 3-9 to Santana, and that's a walk, so not starting out the best of times here for Peavy, as now we have 2 on and only 1 out, and the very dangerous Michael Brantley coming to the plate. He's hitting .347. The only reason he's not leading the league is because Kipnis is. He's hitting .347 and 98 at-bats, 4 homers, 22 driven in. Peavy could use a double play in the worst way right now. It's a 4-7 against a left-hander, and that's a 1-7 single. Anything else, he lines it to first, and Belt will snag it. It's a 2. It's going to get through for a base hit. It's only 1 star, so the bases are now loaded. Bases are loaded. And that's going to bring up Francisco Lindor, an equally hot hitter. As of late, 45 at-bats. Since he came up late, he's got 4 homers and 6 runs driven in and just 45 at-bats. He is hitting .289. Infield still at double play depth. They need to turn 2, or they're hoping they can turn 2, I should say. Let's see, because on that 2-8, you got that plus sign there. So and a 112, you got a plus sign there. So that could be trouble if you have the infield in. And I think with one out, you're going to try to get that double play turned if possible. Peavy 1-5, and that's bad news. Lindor, look at this. He's going to clear the bases most likely. 1-4 is a triple. 5-20 is a double. That is a double. Let's see if it clears the bases or not. We know Santana and Kipnis will score. That's a given. Brantley's at least going to go to third. Let's see if he can make it all the way. Brantley runs. Of course, as a trail runner, he was not being held. He runs at a 14. And the double is assumed to go to center. Pagan's a +1 arm, makes it a 15. So 1-15, and I'm not playing the cutoff where if they try for the plate, the runner gets the third base. I'm consider that more super advanced. I'm just worried about the runner right now. So it's a 1-15 for Brantley to score, and he's out. So how about that? They threw Brantley out at the plate. So lots of stuff going on there. Lindor a double. But Brantley's out at the plate for out number 2. 2 runs do score, and the Cleveland Indians now take a 2-0 lead here in the first inning. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez, hitting .261 in 92 at-bats. No homers, but he does have 10 runs driven in. Lindor will have to be held at second base. 1-9, and that's a ground ball back to Peavy to end the inning. But Cleveland strikes for 2 runs here in the first. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is the Indians 2 and the Giants coming to bat. And the way their offense has been, they're already digging themselves a hole of 2-0. And the guy who's enjoying that is the Cleveland starting pitcher, Cody Anderson. And we'll get the numbers on Anderson on the replay before he throws his first pitch. Cody Anderson on the replay is 2-0 with a 0.57 ERA, 16 innings pitched, 11 hits, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts. So he's not a big name, but he's doing very well. He's pitching like he has a big name. And he's going to be given a 2-0 lead to already start out with before he even takes to the mound, which he's got to love. All right, so leading off for the Giants is Angel Pagan. He's hitting .247 in 93 at-bats. No homers, 4 runs driven in for Pagan. 2-5, and he's going to strike out. Not a good start for the Giants. And, of course, teams like the Giants and the Phillies, once we get going into the pennant race and whatnot, probably won't see them very much because they won't be in the running. See them once in a while, but not very much. I'm going to try to concentrate on the teams that are in the running for the playoff positions. Here's Brandon Crawford hitting second in this game. He normally hits a little bit lower in the order, but with Panic out, they're going to bump Crawford up to the number 2 spot. He's got 24 hits and 100 at-bats, which translates to a .240 average, 4 homers and 8 runs driven in. 6-8 against the lefty for Anderson. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a double. That's a double for Brandon Crawford, so a 1-out double for Crawford. And he's aboard. He will have to be held. He's a decent runner, so can't just give him carte blanche. Runs at a 14, so they're trying to not let him get too big of a jump on a base hit. Here's Buster Posey. He's been the one struggling mainly for the Giants. He's been their main cog who they've been counting on, but he's only hitting .202 in 84 at-bats. He did have a couple of games he was out for the injury. A home run and 5 runs driven in, but he's definitely been struggling. Get a 2-3 for Posey, and he almost got the injury factor again. This is a ground ball first base C, so Crawford will take third on the grounder. And that will go 3-1 as Santana flips to Anderson covering 2 down. And now that leaves it up to Brandon Belt, first baseman. Brandon Belt struggling also at only .211. 95 at-bats, 3 homers, 11 runs driven in. So when your 3 and 4 hitters are hovering around the Mendoza line, that's why you're 7-20. One of the reasons, anyway. 6-7 against the lefty, and that's a ground ball second base X. That's going to be Mr. Kipnis, and he is a 3. 3 and a 14 should be a good play. Let's double check it. 3 and a 14 for a second baseman is a good play. It's a ground ball C. That's all they needed. And the inning is over. So the Giants threaten but come away empty-handed. And that's typical for the Giants in this season. Nothing new there. We go to the second inning. Still 2-0 in favor of the Tribe. And it'll be Yan Gomes leading things off for the Indians against Mr. Peavy. And Gomes, he's been struggling for sure. He's only hitting a $137 and 51 at bats. He's been kind of splitting time with Perez at catcher, so they're kind of divvying it up half and half. Gomes is only hitting 137, a homer, and 6 runs driven in. 210, and he just missed an injury. That's a ground ball to third. 2-9 would have been an injury check. That's a ground ball to third, and Duffy takes care of it, 1 down. That'll send up David Murphy, the right fielder. 50 at bats. He's hitting 360, homer and 4 runs driven in, so he's definitely above his normal average for the season, in the real season. 3-7, and he's going to fly to center, so that'll take away a little bit of the average. And then Cody Anderson's using pitcher hitting card number 1. So you don't expect a whole lot here unless it comes off Peavy's card. 3-9 does not. It's a ground ball to third. The inning is over. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Peavy. Came out much better in that one than he did in the first inning. But they still trail it 2-0. And with the anemic offense of the Giants, that 2 runs, you never know. It could be enough. Giant fans are hoping not, but you never know. Especially Cody Anderson's been pitching so well for the Indians on the season. Might be tough to break through. Here's Hunter Pence. He's also one of the strugglers. Hitting only 235, no homers or 8 driven in 85 at-bats. And he's nearing his time to leave because he only had 207 at-bats on the season. So if you look at his numbers, 207 at-bats, I'm probably already overusing him as it is. So I think after this series, he will be done for the season. And not that that's going to make the Giant fans feel any better. 5-8, and that's a ground ball to third. Ramirez is all over it, 1 down. But maybe new blood. Maybe if they get Pence out of there and they bring in new blood like Jared Parker or somebody, that might help the offense. We'll see. Matt Duffy hitting 247, homer and 8 runs driven in. 2-9, and he strikes out. So Cody Anderson just plugging along, no problems. Stroll in the park kind of thing. And that brings up Nori Aoki, left fielder. And he's only hitting 188. He used to hit leadoff, but hitting 188, you're not going to let a guy lead off hitting 188. He's dropped to the number 8 hole. 80 at bats, no homers, 3 runs driven in. They've kind of gone between Aoki and Blanco, and they've both been struggling, so somebody's got to play left field. It's a 2-8, and it's a ground ball right back to Anderson. Very easy 1-2-3 inning. And the Giants just not putting up a whole lot of resistance here. And they're making it very easy for Cody Anderson. So after 2 complete, it is still 2-0 in favor of the Tribe. And we're back to the top of the order for the Indians. Michael Bourne. He will lead things off against Mr. Peavy. Peavy has a fatigue of 6. So it should be no problem fatigue-wise. Anderson's fatigue is a 7, so we got a long way to go for that. But we start the top of the third, 2-0. Bourne, 2-5. He will walk. So a leadoff walk to Michael Bourne. And he's definitely a threat to run, even with Posey's -2 arm. He's an ace stealer. Starts him with a 15. Being held makes -2, makes him a 13. Then the -2 from Posey is an 11. So 1-11, they're going to send him. And Posey throws him out. So Bourne tried to get greedy, but up 2-0. You're almost playing with house money, so that's kind of where that was coming from. But Crawford puts the tag, and Bourne is out of there. Here's Jason Kipnis. 2-6 for Kipnis. That's a 1-14 single. It's a 16 though, so it'd be a line drive that Belt will snag. So Belt got to that one. And just that quickly, we got 2 outs for Carlos Santana. One 7 for Santana is a 1-7 single. Anything else, it'll be snagged by Tomlinson at second. And Tomlinson makes the grab to end the inning. So very easy 1-2-3 inning. As somebody's revving up for the Giants, hoping to get some runs for them. That'll bring up Kelby Tomlinson. Recent call up. He's only had 3 at bats. He's 1 for 3. No homers or runs driven in. He did strike out 1 of the 3 times. So he's up there against Anderson. 2-8, and he's going to fly to center. 1 down. That'll bring up Peavy. Has his own hitting card. And Peavy on 2015 season was a 194 hitter with a home run, so not automatic out by any means, especially against right-handers. He's got a loaded right-handed column at number 3. But he found 4-3 on Cody Anderson, which is a fly ball to right field X. That's Murphy. Murphy is a 3. 3-12 is most likely an error check. 3-12 is an error check. Murphy is an E3. And we get a 3 on an E3. 3 on an E3 is a 2-base error. A 3 on an E3, E3. 3 is a 2-base error. So Murphy, 2-base error, and Peavy, the pitcher, is going to be aboard on the error. How about that? Back to the top of the order for Angel Pagan. Of course, Peavy not being held on second base. 2-9 for Pagan. He's going to strike out. That's out number 2. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford. Whoops, Suadice. Let's re-roll that. 1-8, and that's good news for the Giants finally. 1-8's a 1-2 triple, 3-20 is a double. So it's a double for Brandon Crawford. And that's going to score Peavy. And that cuts the lead to 2-1. So the Giants right back in the game. Seemingly left for dead, but they are back in the ball game, down only 2-1. Crawford will have to be held at second. And that brings up Buster Posey. 3-4 for Posey is a ground ball to second. Kipnis is there. Inning is over. But it's a run for the Giants. And at the end of 3, it's 2-1. Favor of Cleveland, but at least it seems like we might have a ball game after all. After all of that. So Peavy, and that error, of course, was the culprit of the run. So it's unearned, naturally. Michael Brantley will lead off the top of the 4th against Peavy. 6-9. Now let's look at the injury chances. Peavy 6-9 is his injury check. Remember, 6-9 is his injury check. So we got to resolve the at-bat, then check for injury. 6-9's a fly to right, 1 away. But now we need to check for injury, and that's the last thing the Giants need is an injury. But in the Demolition League, everybody's fair game. So for the pitcher, he needs a 1-6 to stay in the game. It's a 20. He's got the max injury. How do you like that? Yeah, we're in the hood. All right, so max injury. Let's check the number of innings for Peavy. Peavy, 111 innings as a starter. Let's check the number of starts. 19 starts. So up here, his max injury is 30 games. So he's gone. Peavy, thanks for coming, but you're not going to be in the league anymore. You're out of the league completely. So how about that? Boy, talk about a punch in the gut to the Giants. They bring Peavy on, and he pitches into the 4th inning, and now he's gone for the season. Wow, that's why it's the Demolition League, folks. All right, so they'll have to make a roster move after this game is over, but right now it's bullpen city. But of course, since there was an off day between Series 9 and Series 10, all the bullpen guys are rested. So they're going to look to see who's got the longest relief rating, and that's just Miro Petit. Petit actually did have a start, probably an opener of some sort, one save, but he does have a 3 relief rating. So Petit will be the new pitcher for the Giants. And a tough break right there as Miro Petit is on. And for Mr. Peavy, it was thanks for the memories, although there weren't that many memories. So Peavy ends up going 3 1/3, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. He's on the hook for the loss unless the Giants can tie the game somehow. So Petit getting all the time he needs to warm up with 1 out. And we turn to Francisco Lindor's at bat. On the replay, Petit is 0-0 with a 4.50 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 16 hits, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, but he has given up 4 home runs in just 12 innings of pitching. So he's got to watch out for the gopher ball. Here's Lindor, 5-4 against a switch hitter batting left. 5-4 is a fly ball center field X, but that could be trouble. Pagan is a 4 out there. He's in there for his offense, not for his defense. 4 for Pagan, and a 13 might go as error check, and that might give him a break. 4 and a 13 does not. It's a single, 2 stars on the 4 and a 13 for a center fielder. It's a single. So the 2 stars is irrelevant because the bases are empty. But Mr. Lindor gets the benefit of a base hit thanks to the lack of range from Pagan. But you're sacrificing some defense to get some offense. If that had been Blanco or somebody out there, they would have caught that ball. But that's the price you pay, trying to decide which way you want to go with it. Now Lindor, B-stealer, he will not try to go anywhere against Posey's arm, but he will be held, as he is a good base runner, so they obviously want to hold him. And here's Ramirez. 6-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. That is Tomlinson. He's a 3. Check that. Let me see something here. Oddly enough, on the computer, I had Tomlinson playing third and Duffy playing second. Don't know how that happened. Let me fix that real quick. A little snafu there. All right, so Tomlinson, yeah, he's a 3. Got it. 3 and a 16 might be a double play for second baseman. 3 and a 16 is, nope, it's a ground ball C, actually. So Lindor is actually going to make it to second base. Tomlinson's only play ends up being to go to first to Belt for the easy out. 2 down. Lindor at second. And that's going to send up Yan Gomes. 1-8, and that's a 1-8 double. Anything else, it's a fly to left. That's a 7. It's a double for Yan Gomes. Lindor will score, and the Cleveland Indians extend the lead to 3-1. So the failed range play by Pagan earlier proves to be costly. Gomes will not be held at second base as not a good base runner. Here's Murphy. 6-7 against the lefties. A ground ball second base X. We're back to Tomlinson again, who's a 3. 3 and a 12. Probably going to go to an error check on this time. 3 and a 12 will go to an error check. Tomlinson's an E15. E15 and a 10 for a second baseman. E15 and a 10 is a ground ball A, so it's a good play. Tomlinson will make the play and the inning's over. But the run is in. And we go to the bottom of the 4th in a 3-1 rather. Cleveland Indians lead. So they give it the run, they get it right back. And now Anderson back out to start the bottom of the fourth. We'll be facing Brandon Belt as the Giants try to claw back again. 6'8", and now his injury is 6'11", so he's okay. 6'8", though, going to hurt his pride a little bit. 1 to 3 is a triple, 4 to 20 is a double. That's a 3. That's a triple for Brandon Belt. Did he have any triples on the season? He had 5 of them, so it's definitely not out of the question. Definitely not out of the question. Yes, I live in the country, and rednecks are aplenty. I'm in the semi between a ghetto and a redneck. It's got a little bit of both, so multicultural, as they say. But it's quiet most of the time, so don't really hear a whole lot. Just we live close. We live right on the main road, so you are going to hear cars going by or trucks going by. But otherwise, it's a safe and quiet neighborhood. But you do get a plethora of different people and backgrounds and so forth. So, but everybody seems to coexist pretty well. All right, here's Hunter Pence. 5-7 against Cody Anderson. That's a single to center, so back come the Giants. They get that run. Hunter Pence single. Puts the Giants to within 3-2. And all of a sudden, getting a tight game again. Still nobody out. Pence. C-Stealer will have to be held. He's not going to go anywhere. Gomes is a -1 arm, so they're not going to try anything. Here's Duffy. 4-11, and that's a ground ball. Second base B is a fielder's choice. So we get the force play as Kipnis will go to shortstop Lindor for the force, 4-6. Scoring at home. One down. New runner Duffy is also being held, but not going to try anything. And here is Aoki. 6-2 against the lefty. That's just a fly to right. No ballpark effects in just advanced. So fly to right. 2 down, and that brings up Kelby Tomlinson, second baseman. 3-7, and that's a single, 2 stars. So Duffy will motor to third. Tomlinson's on with a single. However, you do have the pitcher spot coming up, Petit. So I think they're going to have to pinch hit here. You'd like to have Petit go further, but I think you got to have the offense. You got to try to get some offense here. So they're going to take Petit out, and we will go to the bench. I forgot to scratch off Petit here, but we'll go to our bench, or the bench, not our bench, the bench, and let's see who they've got. They've got a switch and a left and 3 righties. The best hitter they have is probably, it's not much. Gregor Blanco is the best you got at 291, although he's not doing so well in the replay, but on the season he had 291, so that's the move they're going to make. They're going to go to Gregor Blanco and see if he can come through with a big 2-out hit. He's only hitting a .185 on the replay and 65 at bats. Like I said, he did hit 291 in the real season. Tomlinson at first base will have to be held. Can't just give up carte blanche to him because he would steal second, get in scoring position. So Blanco looking for a big 2-out hit. Gets Cody Anderson, 3-10. Doesn't get it. He grounds to short, and the inning is over as Lindor just flips to Kipnis to force Tomlinson and end the inning. And the Giants come away with 1 run, but that's all they get. And now they have to go to their bullpen again. And let's see who they want to bring in from that bullpen. Probably looking at Contos, I imagine. Yep, because Contos has a 2. He's got the longest relief rating of the remaining players in the bullpen that are available. So it will be Contos. And we'll get the numbers on Contos. Contos is 0-0 with a 0.64 ERA, 14 innings pitched, 10 hits, a walk, and 9 strikeouts. He's been one of their best pitchers, probably their best pitcher for sure. He has been their best pitcher. So the regular season, he was, or in the 15th season, he was 4-4 with a 2.33 ERA, but he's doing a whole lot better than that now here in the replay. So we start the 5th inning, 3-2, favor of the Indians, and leading off with the pitcher, Cody Anderson. He grounded to third his first time up. 6-7, and that's a strikeout. Contos not tired, obviously. It's his first batter he faces. So Contos gets the strikeout. 1 away. The order flips over to Michael Bourne. 4-6, and he's going to pop it up to second. Joe Panic is there. Boy, Contos just keeps it going. Here's Kipnis. 2-9 for Kipnis. Grounds to short. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Contos. Very, very good for him. He is just definitely exceeding expectations all the way around. He's going to definitely come out and pitch the 6th inning as well. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. In this 3-2 ball game, it'll be Angel Pagan, top of the order for the Giants against Cody Anderson. 4-8, and that's a pop out to second. He's not tired, obviously, so that's a good play. 1 down for Brandon Crawford. 2-7 for Crawford. He flies to center. 2 down. And Buster Posey. 6-4, and that's a catcher X. So we're going to Yan Gomes. He is a 2. 2-17 on a catcher. 2-17 is a pass ball and a foul out, but of course nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be a foul out. And the inning is over. So we go to the top of the 6th. Still 3-2. Contos back out. His second inning of work. Facing Carlos Santana. It'll be Santana, Brantley, and Lindor. 3-7 for Santana, and that's a 1-8 double. Anything else, he flies to center. And that's a fly to center as Pagan chases it down for 1 away. Big out there to keep him off the bases. Big difference between that and a leadoff double, obviously. Here's Michael Brantley. 2-7 for Brantley, and that's danger. 1-6 is a double, 7-20 is a single. That's a 1-out single from Michael Brantley. He continues his hot hitting. He's aboard, and he will have to be held as an ace stealer. He might try to steal. Although Posey has already thrown one of their runners out, but with 1 out, it seems like a decent gamble to make. So Brantley, ace stealers of 15, being held drops him to a 13, -2 from Posey is an 11. 55% chance. Might as well try it. 55% chance. And he's in there. Stolen base from Michael Brantley. It was close, but he got in there. So he's in scoring position with 1 away, and he will have to obviously be held at second base to keep him close. And we're going to go to Francisco Lindor. 1-7 for Lindor. It's a single, 2 stars. That'll score Brantley. So that stolen base comes in handy as Lindor drives home Brantley. And the Indians grab a 4-2 lead. Four-2 ball game. Lindor will be held on and will not go anywhere. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. The Indians lineup is tough. Remember, they're 1 year away from World Series here. 6-3, and that is a straight-up in-home run chance right here. No ballpark effects to worry about. He does have normal power. It is gone. Boom, a 2-run homer from Jose Ramirez. His first home run of the season. He hadn't hit the power stage yet in 2015. He had only had 6 home runs, but he got his first one here. It's a 2-run shot. And the Indians now have blown this thing open. It is now 6-2, and Contos is tired. But they would like to get him through the inning if at all possible. Yan Gomes the batter, but he got to watch out for the dots on his card now. 5-11 is a ground ball first base X. That's Belt. Belt is a 1. 1 and a 9 for a first baseman. Might go to an error check. 1 and a 9 does go to an error check, and his error rating is a 4, E4. E4 and an 8 is a ground ball A, good play. But since it went to the defensive chart, I'm going to call it a 3-1 ground out. Just for the heck of it. 2 away now, and David Murphy the batter. 2-5, and that's a 1-15 or 1-16 double rather. So Murphy with a 2-out double. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Cody Anderson. And that might be the saving grace for Contos to get out of the inning facing the pitcher. Assuming it comes off the pitcher card, not the hitter, not the batter card. It does come off the batter card. 1-9's a strikeout to end the inning. So Contos is done. And the Giants may be done as well, given the score. As the Indians put up 3 runs here in the 6th and take a 6-2 lead. And the way the Giants' anemic offense is, those 6 runs seem pretty almost insurmountable, but we won't call it that yet. We'll try to keep the viewership going and not say the game is over, because you never know what the dice will come up with. Now the computer is telling me it's only 2 outs. Oh, because I haven't done Cody Anderson yet, that's why. Duh. Okay, now we're set. All right, so Brandon Belt is your batter. Cody Anderson now enjoying a 6-2 lead. (1-6) for Belt. 1-9's a home run. And Belt, this will be his 4th home run if he can get it. He does not. It's a 19, so it's a settle with a double. So Brandon Belt, leadoff double. So at least a little bit of signs of life from the batting order of the Giants. Here's Hunter Pence. 5-11, and that's a fly ball center field B. 1 down. Runner's not going to move up on that. Would have been a sac fly had it been at third, but he wasn't. So 1 away for Matt Duffy. 3-8 for Duffy. 1-2 is a single. Anything else, he grounds out back to Anderson. And he does ground out to Anderson. Runner will have to hold. Belt will freeze at second base. On that ball hit right back to Anderson. And down by 4 runs, you're not, obviously not going to be running. So 2 away, and here's Aoki. 5-7, and that's going to get the run home right there. 1-3 is a double, 4-20 is a single, 2 stars both ways. It is a single for Nori Aoki, but it does bring home Brandon Belt. So Aoki gets the single, and that will bring home Belt to cut the lead to 6-3 and bring up Kelby Tomlinson. Aoki will have to be held on. So Tomlinson is up with 2 down. Aoki at first. 1-5. He's going to strike out to end the inning. Giants do get 1, but they trail it 6-3 as we go to the top of the 7th, and we will need a new pitcher for San Francisco. Pitcher spot is due up to lead off the bottom of the 7th for San Francisco, but all their pitchers are 1-inning guys, so no double switch is going to be, sought after. So let's look and see who the Giants might want to go to out of their pen. They have 3 righties left, Strickland, Romo, and Casilla, and 2 lefties. Coming up for the Indians, a bunch of lefties, but you're down by 3. Well, they're going to bring him in anyway. They're going to bring in Jeremy Affeldt, the lefty. He'll be coming on, the 1-inning type pitcher, as are most left-handers. Lefty specialist. So Affeldt is on. He is 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA. 8 innings pitched, 10 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So Affeldt will be in just to pitch the 7th. That's his only responsibility, is to get through the 7th. He's going to be facing Michael Bourne to lead off. 6-3 against the lefty is an in-home run chance. He does have weak power, though, so it would only be a single. On a 1-14 would only be a single. And it is only just a single for Bourne. Nope, no home run. But Bourne is on with the leadoff single. Now, he was caught stealing once before, I do believe. Or was that somebody else? I'm not keeping the score in front of me, so let me check the box score real quick. Yep, he was caught stealing. So with a 6-3 lead, I think they're going to keep him there. Of course, he will have to be held on. Here's Kipnis. 4-10, and that's a fly to center, or fly to right, rather. Fly to right C. Guess that's where I got the center from, seeing that C. So there's 1 away for Carlos Santana. Turnaround bat right-handed against the lefty. 4-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That is Aoki. And Aoki is a 3 in left field. 3 and a 6 as a left fielder. 3 and a 6 is a single 2 stars. So that will put Bourne to third. And Mr. Santana, as far as the Giants are concerned, are continuing his evil ways with that single. Runners on the corners now for Michael Brantley. Infield. At this point, they're going to play the infield in. 5-9, and that is a ground ball second base B. So it's a good thing they brought the infield in. Let's see if that either gets the runner out at the plate or whether he has to hold. It is a B. It is a second base ground ball B. And with the infield in on a ground ball B, the batter is safe. Runner on third is out. So they will get Bourne at the plate on a fielder's choice. Santana will go to second. Brantley will go to first on the fielder's choice. But the out will go 4-2. For out number 2. That's why they play the infield in. They didn't want to give up a cheap ground out and not get the double play and give up a cheap run. So now we're looking at Mr. Lindor, another switch hitter against Affeldt. 6-9, and Affeldt ground ball to short. And before I do that, let me make sure Affeldt doesn't get injured on a 6-9. I doubt he does. That seems awful high to be up to that point. Now, he is a 3 on his injury. And on a 3, it's a 6-10, so he missed it by 1. So he will not be injured. It's a ground ball to short. Would have been a double play, but there's already 2 outs, so just going to be an easy play. Crawford will just flip to Tomlinson covering for the force. 6-4 on the fielder's choice ground out to end the inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. We will need a pinch hitter for the Giants. And let's see, does Cody Anderson, I think they're going to go ahead. How do they want to play this? Not sure how they want to play this. We shall see. I think they're going to pull Cody Anderson, but while we're trying to decide, I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back and figure out what my decision was. Okay, the decision has been made to pull Anderson, and the Indians will go with right-hander Jeff Manship. On the 2015 season, he was 1-0 with an 0.92 ERA and 39 innings pitched. He will be on the replay. He's only pitched 4 innings so far. 4.50 ERA, no win-loss record, no saves. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And the Giants, with the pitcher spot coming up, Affeldt, are using their other left-hander / switch hitter, Ari Adrianza. And he's not doing so well. In 22 at-bats, he's hitting a .182. No homers and 1 driven in. And on the regular season, he only hit 186, so he's right on line there. So Adrianza will pinch hit against Jeff Manship. But before that starts, of course, we are at the 7th inning stretch here in San Francisco with the score Cleveland 6 and the Giants 3. I'm going to stand up and get ready for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books, and we're ready to go. 6-3, Indians lead it over the Giants. And Ari Adrianza, the pinch hitter, against the new pitcher Manship. 1-4, he's going to ground to short. Lindor all over it, 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Angel Pagan. 5-8 against the switch hitter batting left is a ground ball second base X. That is Kipnis. And Kipnis checks in as a 3. 3-18 is a good play. So Kipnis makes the play. 2 down. And that's going to take us to Brandon Crawford. Shortstop. 2-5 for Crawford. 1-8 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to third. And he's going to ground to third to end the inning as Ramirez puts it away. So 1-2-3 inning turned in by Manship. And we go to the 8th. It is still a 6-3 ball game. And we need a new pitcher for the Giants, of course, since they pinch hit for Affeldt. Coming up for the Indians, it is Ramirez, Gomes, and Murphy. A switch, a right, and a left. So pretty much doesn't matter which direction you go in. I believe they're going to go to Hunter Strickland, a right-hander out of the pen. So Hunter Strickland is on. In 2015, he was 3-3 with a 2.45 ERA. Let's check his numbers on the replay. Hunter Strickland, 0-0 with a 2.70 ERA. Only 3 innings pitched, so he hasn't been with the team all that long. A walk and 3 strikeouts. So he was a recent call-up, not that far ago. So Hunter Strickland is on to pitch the top of the 8th against Jose Ramirez. 6-3 Cleveland. 6-6 against the switch hitter batting left is a strikeout. So Hunter Strickland puts the K on Ramirez, 1 away for Yan Gomes. 1-6 for Gomes. All these hits in column 1, he found a strikeout. So Hunter Strickland, yet another strikeout. He's coming in firing darts. 2 up and 2 down for the right fielder, Murphy. 4-9, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hunter Strickland. Not sure if he's going to pitch to the 9th or not. We'll have to wait and see on that. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Now let's see, Manship is due up next inning for the Indians. They're going to let him pitch this inning as well. He does have a relief factor of 2, so he's still okay for that. They want to get him through this inning, and then possibly, if it's still a 6-3 game, they could turn it over to their closer, Mr. Cody Allen, if we get that far, and the score doesn't change. Right now, it is Buster Posey to lead things off against Manship, but activity is in the Cleveland bullpen right now as Mark Chepsinski, a lefty, and Brian Shaw, a righty, are both loosening the Cleveland bullpen just in case Manship starts to struggle. 6-7 and fly to center, so no struggle there. 1 away. It brings up Brandon Belt, and the Giants are in danger of dropping to 7-21 and going back into a last place tie with the Phillies. 2-4, and that's going to be a fly to center again, 2 down. If you know, of course, if you want real pain and suffering, then I should play all 3 games of the Giants and Phillies when that series comes up. All 3 of those on video. It's Hunter Pence, 5-6. I will spare you all of that. Ground ball to short, that's going to end the inning. So Manship, 2 shutout frames, pitching the 7th and the 8th. Takes care of business. And that will be all for Mr. Manship, but he certainly did his job. And we go to the top of the 9th. Hunter Strickland. I think I'll let him finish the inning. He only faced 3 batters, I think, so they're going to stick with Hunter Strickland. Strickland will stay in the game. We are at the pitcher spot for Cleveland, so obviously Manship is done, and they're going to go to the bench. Let's see who they want to get as a relief, or not a relief pitcher, but a pinch hitter, rather, for the Indians. We've got their full complement on the bench, but obviously a lefty would be in order, you would think. They're going to go to Brandon Moss. So Brandon Moss will pick up a bat and hit for Cleveland against Hunter Strickland. And on the replay, Brandon Moss in 50 at-bats is hitting .240, 4 homers, 13 driven in. .410, and that's a fly ball center field X. That could be trouble. That's Pagan, who's a 4. That's 16, though. I think he might get to that. We'll see. With a 4, you're always in trouble with that. You always never know. 4 and a 16 is a fly ball A, so it is good. It would have advanced the runners, but nobody's on base to advance. So Brandon Moss is out of there as Pagan, with some difficulty, tracked it down for the out. Back to the top of the order, and Michael Bourne. 5-5, and that's a pop out to first. Brandon Belt puts it away. 2 down for Jason Kipnis. 111 for Kipnis, and that's a fly to right to end the inning. So Strickland, just like Manship, pitches 2 shutout innings of relief. Kind of saves the bullpen a little bit. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. And it is a 3-run game, so it is a save situation for Cleveland, which means they will go to Cody Allen. Try to pad his stats with a cheap save. It's going to be facing Duffy, Aoki, and Tomlinson. If everybody gets on, then they go to the bench, probably for McGee as a pinch hitter. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. First things first, it is right-hander Cody Allen. He did have 34 saves on the 2015 season, 2-5, a 2.99 ERA. So Cody Allen will be on. Looking to close the deal, and Cody Allen on the replay has a no win-loss record, 0-0. Does have 9 saves. He's got a 1.80 ERA, 10 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 walks, 17 strikeouts. So the Giants have their work cut out for him. Scoring 3 runs in a game is tough for the Giants, much less 3 in 1 inning. But Hey, you never know. Anything can happen. Here's Duffy. 2-7 for Duffy. He's going to ground to short, 1 away. So it doesn't bode well when your leadoff man makes an out. Here's Aoki. 6-9 on Cody Allen is a 1-7 single. Anything else, it's a ground ball to Santana. It is a ground ball to Santana. He will make the play himself. 2 down. Last chance is Kelby Tomlinson. 1-8, and he strikes out to end the ball game. So Cody Allen finishes the ball game in style by striking out Kelby Tomlinson to end the ball game. And the Cleveland Indians improved to 19-9. The Giants dropped to 7-21. Be right back with the totals on the ball game once I print the score sheet out from the computer, the box score, I should say. Okay, final line score. Cleveland Indians beat the San Francisco Giants by the score of 6-3. 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and 5 left for Cleveland. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 5 left for the Giants. So we look at the box score I just printed from the game we just played. You can see Cody Anderson improves to 3-0. He went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 were earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Lowers his ERA to 1.25 on the replay. Jake Peavy, adding insult to injury, not only takes the loss, but he's lost for the season. So he was supposed to get 6 starts, but he's not getting any of them. He got the 1, and that was it. And he takes the loss. Contos and Strickland, Contos kind of took one for the team, going 2 innings, raised his ERA to 2.25 by giving up those 3 runs. Strickland came in and helped the bullpen as well, so they didn't blow the whole bullpen in one outing. Cody Allen did get his 10th save, lowers his ERA to 1.64. And offensively, the star of the game offensively, Francisco Lindor, he hit his 3rd double of the season. He was 3 for 4, 3 RBI, and 2 runs scored. Only home run of the game was Ramirez. It happened to be his first. It's a 2-run shot in that one. So Giants continue to struggle, and that's all you can say about it. They're going to have to get a replacement for Jake Peavy now in the rotation. So we'll have to scan their bench or their minors and see who they can bring up to be another starter. Not sure at this point who it would be. In fact, I can look at their roster right now and on the computer and see who the possibilities could be. Let's see. It could be Matt Cain. Could be Tim Lincecum. There's a couple guys right there. Matt Cain did have 11 starts on the real season. Lincecum's already had a couple of starts. He had on the season, actual season, he had 15 starts. He's already had 3 of them, so he can have 2 more. So we might go ahead and put Lincecum in, and then when his 2 starts are done, switch over to Cain. So I think we're going to add Lincecum and take away Peavy. And so Lincecum will be coming back, and not sure if he's going to start the next game or might be back on Bumgarner. I'm not sure how the rotation. I think these are the number 4 starters I was going for here. So I think Lincecum will pitch in one of these, probably in the 3rd game of the series. In the next game of the series. Bumgarner would pitch the final game, probably against Corey Kluber. So maybe that would have been a better one to do a video on, but typically do the video of the first game of the series, just by default. So there you go. Final score again, 6-3, favor the Indians as they take it to the Giants. And they improved to 19-9. So as I look at the standings after Series 10, after Game 1 has been played in each of the series, in Series 10, Game 1, everybody now has 28 games in the books. Cleveland is 19-9. They're 2 games ahead of both Houston and Boston, who are 17-11. Tampa Bay and the Mets are tied with Cincinnati, 3 games back at 16-12. Seattle is 6 games back at 13-15. Arizona is 7 games back, 12-16. And poor Philadelphia and San Francisco, 7-21 and 12 games back. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Like I said, I'll be cutting back on some of these videos now going forward. I'm just going to play one from each of the series. I have to figure out who the next video is going to be in this league by looking at the schedule. And let's see who the upcoming series are supposed to be. And it looks like, let's see, the one team we didn't, Houston and Arizona did not get shown last time. So we could show Arizona and Cleveland, or we could show Houston and Cincinnati. I'm leaning toward Houston at Cincinnati. So I think that's going to be the next video in the Demolition League. Probably be next week sometime. It'll be Houston at Cincinnati. That'll be Series 11. It'll be Game 1 of Series 11. Game 1, Matchup 3 in Series 11. Everything else will be played offline as I try to scoot through this replay and get it at least to the point where we're into the pennant race and it's more interest. I think, like I said, I think it's getting a little bit stale based on views I've been getting and whatnot. So I think that's my strategy going forward on that. But from here, hope you enjoyed this presentation of Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.